Are you getting ready to sell your home? If so, this video is just for you. In this video, I'll be providing 7 tips to prepare your home for market to help you also stand out above the competition. I'm Will Joseph, top producing agent, real estate investor, and strategist. I've worked with institutional investment groups, athletes, celebrities, as well as first-time home buyers and sellers. In this channel, I'll be providing you with the tips and tools that I use for my clients to literally build millions of dollars in real estate wealth. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell to be notified each time I upload new content on my top real estate buying and selling strategies. Tip number 1, strive for curb appeal. This is a very easy and very important exercise for you, the seller, to do before listing your home. And that is to make sure that the front of your property is appealing to a buyer. There's a saying in our business that charm sells, and it really does. So the more that you can do to make sure that your first presentation, your first impression is a good one, the better off you'll be. Also, when you look at what people see from the street side or from the front entrance, you're not only looking at what the first few seconds of what a buyer's experience will be, but it's also going to probably be the first photo on any web or any print collateral that you create for your listing. Remember, you only get one chance to create a first impression, and that front entrance or that front yard is critical for you, the seller, to make sure it looks clean and charming. Tip number 2, declutter your home. Now, I don't need to go into any detail on what it means to clean your home, but for the sake of selling your home and getting optimum value, it is super critical for you, the seller, to make sure that all countertops are clean and all personal items are put away. Focus primarily on kitchens and bathrooms, and make sure also that all laundry and clothes are folded. It's super important that you, the seller, do this prior to photography as well, because that will allow really good photos about those personal items. Remember, you're making a first impression. Tip number 3, deep personalize your home. This step ties into the prior step of decluttering, and it's a step that you, the seller, should take to make sure that your home appeals to as many people as possible. Putting away personal items or any item in your home that may be offensive or marginalizing to a buyer is important to attracting as many different types of buyers as possible. When buyers walk through a home, they want to imagine themselves in the home. If you have too many family photos or too many other items, they're not going to see themselves in the property. Remember, there are millions of types of people from all different types of backgrounds, and you want to make sure that this home looks like a home for everyone. For you, it's an important step to take because this will draw in as many buyers as possible. Tip number 4, appeal to all senses. What I mean by this is it's not always about how a home looks, but rather how it sounds and smells. Whether buyers know it or not, those 2 key senses weigh heavily on their decision to purchase a property. So if you're a property owner with cats or dogs, try to address those smells. And if you have other parts of your home that are making sounds, such as leaky faucets, try to fix those components so that they aren't creating a dripping sound or any sound that will impact the showing. Now, to really elevate your property with those 2 key senses, we always recommend that our clients put out a few diffusers, light a candle, or even turn the fireplace on. If you have a surround system, put on a light, easy ambient music, at a reasonable level. Using those tools, it'll help the buyer develop an overall feel for the home, as well as help the buyer imagine that home as their own. If this is resonating with you, hit the like button and comment yes below that you're feeling prepared to sell your home. Tip number 5, make sure your home has ample lighting. Definitely before photography, change out those old light bulbs and make sure that the different parts of the home that are not well lit have light. Before showings, make sure that all lights are on. Open up windows and curtains so that light comes into the home. Well-lit homes photograph better, and they also show better. Tip number 6, fix all noticeable repair items. You should do this before listing your home for sure, and definitely before photography. Go through the home and fix broken outlets, broken outlet covers, potentially dings in the wall from the decluttering stages. Anything that may draw the buyer's attention either through photography or when they walk through the property should be fixed. Remember, you're not only trying to get the home to look appealing, but you're also showcasing who you were as a property owner. Buyers are going to draw conclusions not only in terms of what the property's condition is, but on how you were as a homeowner. Tip number 7, walk the property as if you were a prospective buyer. Get your house show ready, turn on all lights, open windows, turn on the diffusers, put on the ambient music, and start at the beginning, maybe at the curb, and walk all the way in. With a pad of paper and a pen, make notes of all of the items that you feel may be objectionable to a potential buyer. Write those down and take that tour. Then take it one step further and invite other family members and friends to take the same tour. If you do this before you list the home, you're doing it without wasting time on the market. Remember, a first impression is everything, and you want to make sure that you do not give off a negative impression. What may catch your eye might not catch a buyer's eye, and vice versa. What a buyer sees, you might not already see. Remember, you've lived in this home for some time, and maybe you're looking past certain things that a buyer would not like to see in a home. So definitely walk the home and bring as many people through to generate as much feedback as possible and fix those objections before you hit them on. So just to recap, the 7 tips to prepare your home for sale. Tip number 1, strive for curb appeal. This is important to get your home ready for photos as well as a first impression. Tip number 2, declutter your home. Make sure your home is clean and ready to be shown at a moment's notice, as well as clean for photography. Tip number 3, depersonalize your home. Make sure that the buyers come through, that they look at that property and they can imagine themselves in the property and not you, and remove all objectionable or marginalizing items. Tip number 4 is appeal to all senses. Make sure that you appeal to the 3 senses: sight, smell, and sound. It's super important that your home not only looks good, but it smells good, and then it has, you're fixing all the objectionable sounds or noises in the property. Tip number 5, make sure your home has ample lighting throughout. Make sure that the home is well lit for photos as well as showings. Tip number 6, fix all noticeable repairs and items before you list the property, and definitely before photography. And tip number 7 is walk the property as though you're a prospective buyer. Also invite as many people to preview the home to give you feedback on items to repair or address before you hit the market. I'm Will Joseph, top producing agent, real estate investor, and strategist. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more of my top real estate strategies to help you sell your home for optimum value.